Greetings. It's Black Light. This brother here is a lost brother. Yeah, he's schooling the young brothers and sisters in the wrong direction by being the devil's advocate. Uh, he's trying to be what we call a propagandist. But again, that word propaganda only means to promote an agenda, a person. It could be a negative connotation added to it or a positive connotation, but they call them spin doctors, you know, in past recent years. And I don't hate this brother for what he's doing, but what he's trying to do is keep you from having the knowledge, the real knowledge itself, and block Islam, you know. And because a lot of people don't know really where Islam came from. See, the term Christianity wasn't used during the time of Jesus. You know, this is the Caucasians' words and terminology. And Islam is a terminology that comes straight from the Creator. But what's the interpretation of Islam? To do the will of the Most High. To do good on the planet, that's all. To treat others as you want to be treated. Jesus said it like do unto others as you would want. Do unto others as that which you would want done unto yourself. That's all. Peace on earth. Get along, try to get along. So he wants to turn the attention off the number one person or group of people that's going along with some of these people are not in the same frame of mind. Some Caucasians are not in the same frame of mind. It's the warmongers and the Rothschilds, but they go along with it. And they don't know how to fight against it, because if they fight against it, that'll bring the snake pit, which we call America, down. So they go along with it, and if you go along with it, that's like harboring a fugitive from the law of Allah or God. See, words have different vibrations to it. But we're not going to get off into that right now. But this brother here, Young Pharaoh, you start off saying his name was Young Pharaoh Allah. He used that word Allah. See, he was playing it safe. He wanted to be black, so he adopted the name Young Pharaoh Allah. And then when his handlers told him what the agenda was and what he had, what his duties was, he had to drop the Allah. He don't use that word no more. He just use Young Pharaoh now. you know. And he got hooked up with SETI. And these brothers are agents. They the devil's advocates. So now they out to destroy the Nation of Islam. Now they not worried about Farrakhan. Farrakhan like he gonna go down in history as the one who tried to bring the Nation of Islam back. But the real one is Master Farad and Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So this was a spin doctor's move. The young Pharaoh, the Nation of Islam, packed with the KKK. He lying. See, the KKK, everybody wanted to take the Muslims out. But the Muslims, the Nation of Islam Muslims, they got the FOI. So they done went up against the police. They done went up against the mafia, the FBI, and everything else. But the KKK, the reason why the KKK didn't want to deal with the Nation of Islam is because the KKK don't want no confrontation with them. Because they done did some things now. They done did some things against the Nation of Islam now. They didn't, like it was a farm that they was raising cattle. The Nation of Islam was raising cattle. And some of the clan killed some of the cattle. And the brothers wanted to move against them. Against the KKK. Going to kill some of their cattle. But ever since the cowboy days, it always been range wars with the cattlemen and with the Indians. They killed up all the buffalo, so forth. So Honorable Elijah Muhammad told them no, because we ain't ready. We ain't ready for them yet. So when the KKK saw and heard how Honorable Elijah Muhammad was moving and producing good results, they tried to ride on the Nation of Islam, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him, he said, look, we don't want to mess with your white women. So you see, y'all mad because y'all scared. Every time that the KKK moved on, it's because a white woman made a claim that one of the brothers whistled at her, looked at her or something. And that's when they, started hanging brothers. Now that's the enemy right there, the KKK. But they didn't move on the Nation of Islam because the Nation of Islam said, we don't want your woman. And Malcolm was calling them ugly. He said, your ugly, pale woman. We want a melanated sister. And so the KKK say, yeah, okay. Well, the reason why they said okay was because they just don't want the big black nigga or Negroes busting out their women. And they say, okay, cool. Y'all don't mess with our women. And Elijah said, you ain't gonna mess with ours either. And so they didn't mess with them. And then plus they know that them brothers, the FOI, just like the Deacons of Defense, they don't play that. The Deacons of Defense, Christian-based brothers, but they don't play that, I mean, just like the Panthers. But what mess up us is brothers like this brother here. You know, he's one that's able to bring uh, any kind of black power down. He do it so smooth that you can't recognize it. But he don't know himself what he doing. You know, Jesus said, God forgive them for they know not what they do. That's this brother here. Him and Seti and the rest of these brothers that's beefing with one another and throwing stones uh, on organizations that you know they did the black community no harm. If you don't dig the doctrine, you don't have to go there. You don't have to give them your money. They ain't forcing you to do that now. And, you know, you ain't got to pay taxes like the government wants you to pay taxes. They owe you reparations, but you paying taxes. And if you do get reparations, you just getting your own money back that you done paid taxes for all these years. We supposed to be tax exempt if they don't want to give us reparation. And even the Constitution, it said that the Constitution said they're not down for the taxes like that. You know, so y'all got to get y'all some Constitution so y'all can see what kind of taxes and what kind of money system that's stated in the Constitution. You only supposed to be dealing in the Constitution. We only supposed to be dealing with gold and silver. But the Federal Reserve came in, started printing up money. Took all the gold from the people, started sitting on the money. And then they fighting right now, killing up people. FOI ain't fighting, killing up nobody. So why is this brother so hard on the Nation of Islam? He's an advocate for the devil. They paid this brother off, and he's fighting hard. He's trying to start a little war, so they could kill some people. But this is a devil's advocate. This young brother here, Young Pharaoh, Black Light, out.